had these so many moments where I have once projected upon others, and I have come to so many realizations that every single projection I had upon anyone in any experience that I had that would have designated itself as trauma in the brain or in the human experience has, as I've done so much spiritual work
What is wrong with you?
each
Smoking
individual,
in my house. Ever since that psychotic pal of yours turned up, you turned into an even bigger asshole.
Thank you.
Tissue. Let's say they're all different, like little
Your
muscle
support in my
tissues.
difficult times means the world to
That's
me.
gonna make it make sense.
I supported you.
Each time
I left
that I like
everything to
massage
come
through
here
the
with you,
tissue
and
get
still
into the
that
deep
crazy
work of the
bastard
tissue,
turns up.
I come to
handle
these
it.
deep
How?
realizations
I don't
that it's
know.
all tied to
You know
myself.
what? Just keep
and
him
all of
away
the
from
anger
me and the
resentment
children,
and
you low-life,
fear
whoremongering
and
asswipe.
blame and
someone
also
say yoga?
shame.
No, I think
and
she said
what's the other one?
whoremongering asswipe.
Hello, Fabian,
Shame
darling.
Namaste, Amanda. Are we ready to practice?
I can't
Yes.
remember.
Oh, yeah, she's
But all
very
these different
centered.
emotions that I
Regular
felt
oasis.
that I
Decent
With the
tranquility,
common
this one.
used to
anger
project
issues
them
and
onto
we're
others. I used to
friends.
think
No
it was
wonder I'm
others'
so
faults.
upset.
You too, please.
And I used to live
Namaste.
in that way so that I didn't have to
We
blame
practice.
myself, right? And
Again,
it's not that I do
join
blame
us, please.
myself. I don't actually.
No, please, no.
Anymore.
No, please.
Right?
The yoga is for sharing. Come,
But
again, come.
digging through
Awesome.
everything, I've come to these places where
So fat.
whatever I did
You
experience,
can make me as happy and mellow as
I
my
have
wife.
found
It'll be a
forgiveness
job well
for those
fucking
moments.
done.
And
We are
even
all
more
on
than
our
I have
own
found
journeys,
forgiveness for
Mikhail.
others, I have found
Yeah, no
forgiveness
doubt.
for
That's why she's
myself.
driving a tank on
for
hers.
the experiences that I've been through and what that has
Perhaps to deal with
catalyzed
your
inside
hostility,
of me
Michael.
and in my
Now,
vessel,
here
in
is
my
good.
body, and I
We have this
still.
one.
This is something that I
And the
still am
moribund.
actively working through quite deeply,
Asshole.
and it's something that's really
Now
hard
we
for me to
begin to
talk
put the
about and for me
asshole
to
to the
move
air.
through because it is something that's
Yes, we begin each sequence.
so
Katasana.
sensitive in my reality.
Yes.
And
Or
I am so
mountain
deep in the
pose.
internal,
Right.
beautiful work that I am so incredibly proud of myself for how far I have come in that journey. But it's definitely
Mouth
difficult, and so that's
and
where
nose.
we get to where I am today,
Perfectly in line.
where I'm
Show him Amanda.
experiencing, and this is going to be so vulnerable, but I get, I don't want to say consistent, but I want to say a cyclic pattern. I've been experiencing a cyclic pattern of bacterial infections or UTIs, which is just funny, but it's so
In
painful
through the
and not
bloated
fun.
nose and out through those wrinkled
And it's
lips.
been happening for
Let it go.
all the years that I have started doing spiritual
Wow,
work.
Michael.
And it's
I
interesting
never
because
thought
I've been
I'd see
having
the
these really
day.
deep reflective moments
Yeah,
where
through
I
the
look
nose
back and I never
and
used
out
to
the
have
mouth.
this problem. I had so many other problems
Maintain it.
that were a lot worse and much more avoidant. And they
In the nose.
were different.
Out the mouth.
But since
Okay,
I
doc?
started doing inner healing
Breathe out,
work,
please.
I have been experiencing
Strength,
it literally feels
Mikhail.
like each time I face these
gonna have to
memories
do.
within what
Now
I
we
have
will do
been
something
through.
more complicated.
And I have to come
Sometimes,
to the conclusion
when I do this
that I hold
pose,
resentment for myself
weep
in being in those
uncontrollably for
experiences
hours.
and having to move that resentment out of my body. It shows up then when I step into a space of allowing love into my body. That resentment
wow.
feels like a fighting force against
feel that?
the love that I'm welcoming
The emotion
into
inside.
my experience.
Let it go.
And then I end up having these cyclic UTIs,
Michael,
and I've been getting
join
them
us.
for, I want to say like 4 or 5
I feel like I'm
years
channeling
now.
bullshit right now.
And it's not like as crazy as some
Breathe,
people's are in their
Mikhail.
experience. And I'm a huge
Out
believer
through those wrinkled
that
lips.
a lot of the physical
How
things that
many
we're
years of marriage? And this is the
experiencing
first
are our
time
body
he's taken an
communicating to
interest
us
in
that
my
there is some
hobbies.
kind of emotion being
can
held in our
breathe,
system
can't you?
that is meant to be looked at and
Out
held
through the mouth.
and loved. Okay, and
I'm waiting for him to
I'm
turn
no
this into
doctor.
one of his
I still recommend
episodes.
seeing a doctor if you're at a certain point where you do need to seek medical advice. I'm
Now,
no medical
you breathe.
practitioner. I still see doctors.
Just
so
exhale,
you know.
Michael.
But I really strongly
Are you
do
taking
believe,
this seriously,
and I
or is
come
this
back
some
to over and
elaborate
over
way to
that
get at me?
There is opportunity for us to heal something that is being held in the energetic field. That
silly
is
man forgets
causing
to
something
breathe.
To be recurrent in our reality or show up.
Very
in the first
good.
place,
Now
okay?
let it go.
So that's where I come
I'm
back
about
to
to feel
the
some
fact that
emotions,
this has
all
been a
right.
cyclic experience for me.
Remember,
Like I have
children,
had UTIs
do not fear the unknown.
recurring
We
consistently,
are the unknown.
not all the time,
Show us, Amanda.
but consistently enough.
I
with
don't think
pattern
Michael's
in
up
my
to
life,
this.
And I notice when they show up and
Can be
where the
surprising.
pattern triggers. And that's been happening for
Plank.
like almost 5 years now. And so
Chaturanga.
Shut up. Yeah.
it is still something
Feel the
I'm not
flow.
fully built through, but it's interesting because I'm
Everything is
more
flowing
aware
in
of
me.
what it is than I have been in my entire life. And it's also such a sensitive subject because I'm talking about something that my body, I don't
Would
know, for anyone that is still here and is resonating with this or has had experience with their physical vessel, I want to say fighting them. Because that is what it feels like. And
course,
my
very weak,
physical
Miguel.
vessel has every right
Breathing
to
is
fight me in
almost
its
the most
experiences
important
because I have
thing,
been
no?
through traumatic
Out with the
sexual
breath.
experiences.
When we
And so
met,
my
he was
body
actually
has
limber.
learned to try and warn me of harm.
Breathe, please, Michael.
And my body understands that that
Out
is a
through the
harmful
mouth.
space. And I'm reteaching my body
Isn't this
that that is
better
not
than
a harmful
robbing,
space
murdering,
because
and being
I
an
now
asswipe?
am able to understand and only accept in experiences
Your
that are
lungs,
not harmful
they work,
and that are
yes?
safe. Right, and I am having this eternal
Let it out.
conversation
You're
with
turning
my body
red.
where I'm teaching my body to trust me,
Hold the anus.
and that I can also trust
Take
my
in
body
the air
and
and
all the
release it.
decisions that we are making moving forward in this space. Right, and so
Look
it's
at the
quite
concentration
interesting
on
because
his
I sat down
face.
to do
It's like a
message
gorilla with a
earlier
cell
today,
phone.
and
Breathing
I
is
set the camera
almost
up
the
and
most
everything, and,
important
this is the
thing,
stuff
no?
that no one really sees when it comes to being
Your
a content
inner
creator. Right? I
eye.
set the camera up, and I went to meditate to turn or open my
Breathe,
channel,
please,
right? I
Michael.
turned myself on to the universe, and I opened my channel.
Let it
And
out.
as I was opening, I just bursted into
Lengthen.
tears. And I
Strengthen.
held my body and I was just saying, I'm sorry, over and over and over again.
Your
for
lungs, they work, yes?
the misunderstanding and the pain
Let it out,
or
baby.
resentment that my body feels.
If you'd found
from
yoga before,
me
you wouldn't have
pushing
been
it
that
too
way with
hard
Coach.
Or putting it in positions that it didn't deserve.
You have come a
in
long
times
way
that I didn't
today,
understand
Michael.
what was happening.
Yes, later you will cry
And
like a
I
baby.
hold no resentment for younger
Right.
me.
His
There is still
chakras are
resentment being held in my
completely
body.
blocked. Don't
And
worry
that is
about
what's
him.
showing
Don't
up
miss it
as that
downward,
residue,
though.
right? And this is, I don't even know who this
I'm
is.
glad
in
we have
benefit
helped with
because
your
I'm just,
impotence,
like,
Michael.
literally talking about
What'd you
this.
say?
Maybe it's just
Your sexual
benefit me
energies have been
because
blocked for
this
too
is
long.
Something that
Back into my
I just
pelvis.
feel like,
Back.
especially women,
Yes,
often go
there.
through,
Good.
and
Oh!
it's
Oh!
evoked
What?
over
Enough of that!
quite easily, and the base
Yoga is
so
the answer, Michael.
energetic
But
for
what
our
is the
bodies
question?
because
Why am I such a
we walk all
moron?
over
We
them
are leaving,
so
and we are
consistently
never coming back.
living
Good.
in a
You are
masculine
alone, you
paradigm.
pathetic
And
psychopath.
coming back into this
fuck
journey
you.
of the divine feminine
Hit it.
that I have been
Bonnie,
on, I have
Fritz,
found that we
fucking Yogi.
live in a way that was built for men. And what I mean by that, let me be very clear, is the 24-hour
Jimmy,
cycle.
you still
the
here?
cycle of having testosterone in your body. And I was literally talking to a friend about this yesterday.
James!
Of how they have
Leave
that
me
energy
alone.
on a 24-hour
Oh, yeah.
cycle.
Fuck
And we
you.
as women,
You know what? If there was a rape
only
button,
have
I'd be
it
using it
once
right
in
now.
our cycle of
you're a faggot and you
28
like that
days.
sort of shit.
And we
then
have 10
I'll
times
just rape your
less
mom
the amount
instead.
of testosterone that a man has in their body on that day that we have the most, okay? And they taught me that, and that is not a fact that I knew beforehand, but that is so absurdly wild. And all the ways that we push our bodies as women, especially in the world and the society that we currently live in, is honestly just kind of wild. That we are able to, I want to say stretch
Nice TV.
our vessel and
I
our
pay for that?
concept of what
Yeah,
our
you
bodies are
smashed
meant
the
to
other
do
one,
as women.
didn't you?
When we are
come on,
not
I wanna
listening
go
to
for
the
a ride.
natural rhythms
I gotta
of
meet a
Earth
friend.
and the cycles.
All right, so I'll
that
go meet him
the
with it. Come on,
body
I want to get
wants
out of
us
the
to
house.
listen to.
I'm not going alone.
So that's where this is all
on.
quite interesting because
This
it
is
comes
fucking
back to
bullshit.
this eternal, I want to say stretching
Bullshit?
of the feminine.
Threatening to molest your
of
online buddies is
attempting
bullshit.
To stretch
They're
the
not my
feminine to
buddies.
fit into a
They're the
masculine
only
scale.
people you speak
and
to.
I feel like vice versa. The masculine are also being stretched to fit in a feminine scale in a different way entirely. So this isn't to downplay either gender or to downplay
So where's
the
your
concept
friend?
of divine masculinity
Burger
or
shot?
femininity. It is just speaking from my own experience.
Careful!
Teaching myself to lean more.
Yeah,
into
nice to
my
see
own
the kids are still
feminine
hanging out
ways.
at the burger
And
joints. Me and the guys, we'd go down to
It's
the
tough.
diner after class
It's
every
so
day to
tough
get milkshakes,
to process
fries,
and
Dude, please. You know, you're really creeping me out.
I'm trying to relate to you.
No, you're trying to take me on some nostalgia trip. You're such a cliche.
Oh, says the dope-smoking, game-playing, live-at-home world owes him a living millennial.
I knew it. I knew it. The mask was gonna slip. The monster's been exposed.
What the hell are you talking about?
The real you. That bitter, vindictive old man. You pretend you're being a father, but you hate me, don't you?
I don't hate you, Jim. How many times?
I
love you. I'm sorry if I don't express that correctly.
And that's where the real healing takes place.
Why do you think we're here together?
You can look at
You really have to meet my friend?
where that is
Yeah,
coming from.
I really
and that
do.
deeper
And
energy.
please don't
And
get
also,
weird.
on top
For
of
once
that,
in your
my
life,
brother's dying, so I'm gonna have to
don't
change it in a
be
second, but, like,
weird.
the fact that when I was sitting to channel earlier, I was crying,
There he is,
Because I
the
don't
friendly
know the
neighborhood
answer.
drug dealer.
and I am also experiencing this beautiful
man?
dynamic
Good to see you.
realm
What are you, turning
where
tricks to pay
I get
for
to
this
channel
shit, huh?
messages for
Hey,
you
who's
guys,
your old man?
but sometimes I
my
don't
dad.
have all the answers, right?
all
And that's part
right,
of being
Mr.
a human being is that I
DeSanto.
don't have all the answers.
Yeah, you the kid selling
I am
Jimmy
a
pot by the
human
pound?
experiencing the essence of God or source
Jimmy,
or the
bro, your
universe
dad's
just
funny,
as much as
man.
anyone else
Come on,
is.
do this shit and let's get
in
going.
that moment, I wanted to
you
give
got that other thing?
a channeled
Oh, yeah,
message.
yeah.
And I couldn't because
Come
I
on,
felt
what the fuck?
so
Jimmy,
out of tune
just
and
hold
out of
on a
touch
second.
with my own energy.
All right, later
Feeling
on.
like I didn't have the answer for myself.
Hey, let's
when What I
bounce.
need the most
Bounce.
right now is to
We're
hold
bouncing
my body
now.
through
Is that what
this
we're doing?
time that I'm
Jesus
moving through
fucking
this.
Christ.
This clearing, this beautiful clearing for
Alrighty
an
then.
intimate new
Now
dynamic
what?
world where
Can we
my
just
body
get back
can
to the
step
house,
into a physical
please?
timeline. And I feel that for myself. I know exactly what's happening here, and yet I don't have the answers at the same time. And we are eternally existing in this
So,
dichotomy
want a drink?
of
I'm
knowing
driving.
and understanding
Because
and
normally
having
you're such a
absolute
between the white
no
lines,
knowledge,
friend to the
not knowing
pedestrian
anything
kind
at
of
all.
guy.
Fine.
And that
Give it
is
here.
such a definition to the concept of humanity that we exist in at all times. And I think that this is just interesting to witness and perceive, and I never share with you
your
guys my
turn.
own thought process
Maybe when we
on
get home.
myself and my
Ah,
own
who's the
experiences.
square now?
Because I don't feel like this channel is really
I'm starting to feel
dynamically it is about me and about you guys at the same time, but it's not about Freya. It's about the channel that energy is coming through the collective, which often I am part of that collective quite strongly, okay? So it is about all of us together, but also it is just interesting to show and share and showcase my own experience with something that I'm intimately moving through right now. And
You're fucking taking
heavy.
from yourself.
Hard,
Also, I
and
took money from your bank account and I'm
consistently
moving
these
out.
past few days
You're too
moving
crazy,
through these,
Dad.
anxiety puddles. Like I swear, I'm literally swimming through anxiety because I've dealt with anxiety really badly my whole life, and this is something that triggers that anxiety to come up in my system. And I'm also consistently these past few days having to literally practice or put myself into practice and coming back to the ways that I talk myself out of my anxiety puddles and remind myself of the goodness that's in I'm gonna change my perch, my little throne, which is a stuffed mushroom, stuffed animal. So that's my throne. But as I was saying, like I'm moving out and I'm having to find myself again and come back to. I've noticed my friend said this the other day, and I really like the terminology that she used. So she was just talking about her life, and she was like, "It's interesting. I'm going back to the basics and what like brought me to myself in the first place, or how I came home to myself in the first place." And I completely agree with that concept because that's what it feels like I'm having to do in this time where I feel like I'm like diving in and out of these moments of like my old timelines are those anxiety timelines, and my new timelines are the ones that I have handcrafted with all of the strength of my character and my essence, where I've retaught and reprogrammed myself to experience life in a very divine and beautiful way, in a way that I'm fully in my body. And so I feel like I am going back to the basics. I'm going back to the original things that taught me how to shift my mindset within a single
nothing
and so for me, that's like, for one, it's Abraham Hicks. Like, those are some of the first books that I read that really taught me that you level up your thoughts to take you to a more positive place. And if you want to move yourself away from the heavier energies, which is something that like I need to do right now so that I'm not sitting here consistently thinking about pain in my body. Again, like Abraham Hicks talks about disease, and she breaks it apart, and she says this is the terminology, it's dis-ease. So it's literally being out of ease with your reality and your perception. And she teaches you this, there's this one book that she has, I think it's the Emotions book, where she basically takes your emotions, and she takes you from the darkest, dirtiest emotions, and then she basically reads off the emotions going in a way that goes up. And so each thought that you have can tend to each emotion, and each one takes you a little bit soft, a little bit more into a softer position, which eventually facilitates you in rising your vibration, or raising your vibration into a place that feels alive and beautiful. And I'll give you an example right now because I don't even know what this channel really is. It's mostly just me talking and showing you guys how my process works, I guess. My hair. You are drunk. I have to just get over myself. But, for example, this morning I woke up and
Thanks for the fucking commentary.
I was so stressed out waiting for a test result back. And I was just like in my head, like thinking the worst case scenario, because that's something that I've really struggled with my entire life. Is like worst case scenarios, like I just see them because I do have that sight. I see best case scenarios and I also see worst case scenarios. I see them all at the same time. And often in my life, I would lean towards the worst case because that's what I was taught when I was younger, was to make sure that you were preparing for the worst case scenarios, so you have everything figured out without realizing that I was manifesting the worst case scenarios in my reality. Right? So this morning I wake up and I'm thinking, and I'm realizing that I'm hurting myself by sitting in the energy of seeing a worst case scenario possible for myself. So I wake up and I have to remember like what a gift it is. So I take my thought patterns. The way that I personally do this, I don't really like think like, oh, my test result's gonna be bad. That's not really like how my brain works. It's more like what if it is this?
Good guy.
And so sometimes what's easiest for me is if instead of saying what if it is this, and that's a worst case scenario, I say what if it is this, and it's a best case scenario, so that I'm equalizing the energy of both fields. And then when I'm thinking about what if it's the best case scenario, then I think about, oh, well then this is going to be a little bit easier for me to process through this way. And it gives just enough equilibrium to craft a center point for me to be in energetically. And once I get that center point, I can focus on things that pull me back into the physical reality that I am living in that feels the most alive, okay? So that means thinking things like what a gift it is to be alive this morning. Or when I wake up in the morning, the very first thing that I think to myself is, I am so blessed to have this bed. And I made my bed a fucking dream specifically so that I could wake up and be like, what a gift. I love fluffy things. I love feeling cuddled and held. And when I wake up in the morning, I hear the birds chirping outside my window and I hold my blankets and I'm like, oh, I am the luckiest person alive to wake up to this bliss and this goodness and this happiness. And that one thought brings me back to my present reality, and it brings me into an energy of being able to think about the other things I'm lucky for. Like, I'm lucky for the business or the work that I'm going to be doing today. Or I'm lucky to wake up and be able to think about getting a matcha and knowing that I have enough money in my account to get the matcha that I want because I prayed for that and I worked so hard to get to that point where I can afford that, right? And have a matcha without even thinking about paying for a matcha.
I think
That's
you
like
finally lost
something
your
I literally
mind.
used a script about in order to manifest
Your
into
recent
my reality.
behavior and the company you've
Because
been
there were
keeping
days
already had me
where
very
I didn't have the
concerned.
money to get matchas, and
Now you've
those
taken to
days make me
attacking
so
my
eternally
Fabian,
grateful for
who
today,
was a
right?
close friend.
So, anyways, I go from
And
there.
then Jimmy
this
said you
morning,
took
instead of
drugs
being
while
all
driving
full of
him in your
anxiety
car.
and stress, I put everything away that could cause that.
Well, we've decided
and
to move
I
out
went
for a
and played
while.
music that I
You
knew
promised
would make
me
me
you'd
happy, some
change,
kind
and
of
you haven't
playlist
changed a
that
bit.
literally evokes
I know you say I always
happy
act like I'm in
energy,
a
and for me
movie.
today,
Well,
I
this
played
isn't
jazz
that.
blues because that
I think I'm
music
gonna
is just
speak
so
to a lawyer.
bubbly
I'm just really
and has so
confused.
much soul to it. It
Please
just
don't
brings
try
me
to
life.
contact us and
So
try
I did
not to
that,
get
and I
yourself
made a matcha,
killed.
and I did things that filled me with
Amanda.
joy, and that literally brought me out of the energy of that anxiety puddle. and brought me back into my physical vessel. And then I, later in the day, ended up falling back into the anxiety puddle, and then I had to bring myself back to it again. And I have just today literally had to do this like 3 different times to come back to myself, okay? So, for example, let's full circle it, and watching one of Jadina's videos, like, she is one of my favorite human beings. I love that girl, and she brings me so much joy, and she reminds me of things that also bring me joy in her videos, and also if I ever reach out to her, right? And so even just like knowing that if I put one of her videos on, I'm like, energy is contagious.
Tracy,
like, having
baby,
positive
you
energy
called?
in the room with
Yeah,
me
look,
is
Dad,
going to
we're
transform
worried.
my energy.
I'm worried too.
So placing
I really
that
wanna
on,
see you.
and look,
Well,
now here
I don't
am
want
back
to
doing
see
what
you.
I want to
You
be doing,
need
what I
help,
was
like
inspired
serious,
to be doing,
serious
and
help.
felt blocked
And if you
by
don't get it,
beforehand,
you're
right, by my
gonna be
own
killed.
anxiety. I was
Tracy,
able to bring myself back
I love
around
you.
to now be here to talk
But
to
you don't
guys
know what
and
the
to push
fuck
myself
you're talking about.
to talk
I
about
tried,
whatever
Daddy.
is going
That's
through
all I
here,
could do.
right? Like, even if it's not a divine channel, it's still information that brings us closer to understanding and gives us more intention and knowledge, right? And even if it's just for me, right, it is bringing me back to my highest self, because I'm clearing that blockage by even sitting here and talking and speaking and sharing my voice, even if it is something vulnerable or it is something that may not resonate with every single person, right? So, whew, it's quite the interesting message that I have coming through. Because it's just me.
Delete my
Interesting.
number, okay?
You moved out?
But yeah,
I need you at home.
There was
Your
something
mother's
else that I
gone.
really wanted to
and
touch on that
I know. I told
minute
her
ago.
to go.
Tracy!
You're gonna die alone, Pop.
I don't remember. But anyways, I guess that's all. I'm not really gonna go too much deeper. But I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like no one really talks about their physical ailments. And this page is built on beauty and light and goodness. And I also think that it's meant to be so authentic in the sense of like me being able to come on here and share what I'm going through that it is still beautiful, to be honest with you. Like, and I've taught myself that perspective to see it as beautiful, because if even watching and listening to this video back, like, the
Frank,
message
man,
of
all right. I
full
was worried you'd be on the
circling
other
back
side.
into The goodness,
The
the
other
highest
side?
timeline by
What the fuck you
choosing it
talking about?
in every single
You know,
moment.
on my
Like,
dad's
that
team,
is fucking
but your
amazing.
team
That's
Jake
literally
did, so that's
gorgeous
trill.
in my eyes.
Whatever the fuck is going
And
on with y'all
to
two,
be
man, I ain't
sharing
getting caught
also
up
just
in it.
feels
You be lucky
so
enough to have a dad,
alive.
homie. So don't
In
lose him
this
over
way,
some stupid shit,
as
man.
well as all
Call
the
his
other ways
ass
that I
up.
do share and share messages of the angels and not just myself, right? But yeah, I don't know. I am curious to hear your perspectives if you did sit through this or feel this in any way, shape, or form.
fluidity.
If you feel at all like sharing in the comments, I would just still love to hear your thoughts and perspectives. But there you have a little bit of me and what I'm processing and going through. I guess that was kind of like a life update, but not really. But yeah, always eternally moving through things.
Uncle
I
T?
swear.
Pork chop.
And
How are
usually
ya?
I keep
Pretty
all this stuff
shitty,
under
actually.
control
I want a
myself,
new
but this
dad.
is definitely
Yeah, if
one
I
of
could trade your
those,
pop in, I'd do it too.
cycles
He's a hard
that
guy to be
has
close to.
recurred so many
You use a
times, it
hunting
feels like
rifle, you'll
something
only need 500
that
meters.
I can't keep
No,
just
I joke, I joke. Unless you are thinking about it, in which case let's talk.
but I don't want to. I want to be open and vulnerable and share. And I know I am not the only woman out there who experiences shit like this.